Public Wi-Fi. You can find it just about everywhere these days, but it really may not be secure when it comes to your personal information.
So we want to solve that problem for you. Tech expert Shelly Palmer is here to tell us what we should be doing to protect our identities. If certain things that we can get, apps we could get.
Okay, first, public Wi-Fi is never secure. Not once in a while secure, right. Never secure.
So you shouldn't do things like go to your credit card or your bank account statements, those kinds of things, right?
Give it a choice. You don't want to do anything in a public Wi-Fi environment that you don't have to do unless, now repeat after me, virtual private network.
Virtual private
network. VPN.
VPN. Now, there are, if you have a corporate account, you probably are using a VPN because no corporate IT director would ever let you get into the corporate system without coming through a very private, secure environment. What you can do now, and actually have been able to do, but should do now, is make sure that you subscribe to a VPN service for your laptop and your smartphone. Now, there are lots of them out there. I use a service called Cloak, which you can get at GetCloak, but there's NordVPN, there's Viper VPN. There's so many services out there.
Viper's VYPR.
Yeah, they all run about $9–10 a month. Sometimes you can get a deal for the year. It's $100. This is the cheapest $100 you will ever spend over a year as far as your own cybersecurity is concerned. When you're on a public Wi-Fi network, literally anybody else on that network with the right tools can have a pretty decent look at what you're doing, because you're not sending encrypted text over the internet, you're sending clear text over the internet, and you're on somebody else's Wi-Fi system. So the best thing you can do is buy yourself a subscription to a virtual private network, a VPN. You can do it, any of the services, there are dozens of them you can buy, and you will then be able to be secure on any network that you log into for most of the time. There's a little way they can get around it, but they'd have to really be targeting you to do it.
So what does it do? It just encrypts your data that you're sending?
It does two things. One, it allows you a private and encrypted way onto the internet, even on somebody's public environment, and that may be hard to understand, but just think of it as like a tunnel that goes through the internet. That's a private tunnel that's encrypted. So not only are what you do is privatized, it's also encrypted when you hit the internet. The good news about this is that anybody on a public Wi-Fi network looking at what you're doing will see gobbledygook,
right,
or not be able to see it at all. A lot of people use this technology to circumvent the government. You know, like when they're bad people, when they're trying to not be found, or someone who's trying to spoof an IP address to pretend they're in someplace else. But the good use of it, the right use of it, is to have a VPN at a public environment. They're super cheap. I recommend them heavily.
Shelly Palmer, thank you very much, sir.
Alrighty.
ShellyPalmer.com.
That's right.
Thank
and
you,
at
sir.
Shelly Palmer.